Hey everybody, this is James Wallace with Transit coming back at you guys with our next installment of Rhythm and Motion, our video vocal percussion series. Now you guys know the drill by this point. If you have a comment, if you have any feedback, if you have a video response, just leave it below and we'll make sure to get to it as we move along. Alright, so what I want to talk about today with you guys is breathing. Now if you've been doing vocal percussion for any amount of time, you have quickly realized that breathing is absolutely essential to what we do. Without breathing, you are going to run out of breath as you try to do your patterns, as you try to create your sounds, as you try to incorporate new things into what you're doing. Without breathing, you won't be able to get through a song, you won't be able to get through a set, you won't be able to get through an entire concert. And you certainly won't be able to do things like solo demonstrations or really even practice exercises just to help yourself get better at what you're doing. So breathing, again, is a central part of what we do with vocal percussion, and it's really important that we incorporate it seamlessly into what we do so that we can move along with our patterns and establish good grooves and good rhythmic foundations for our bandmates. Now, like I said, we know that breathing is central to what we do, but what we can do with breaths and with airy sounds is really try to make them cool and incorporate them into our patterns in cool ways so that in addition to just serving the function of breathing, they can actually have some rhythmic flair and give some color to the patterns and the beats that we're producing. Alright, so today I'm going to go over two different patterns with you guys. There it is, two different patterns with you guys to show you how you can use breathing in what you do. But before I do that, I'm just going to take a quick second and do a small short demonstration of how you can incorporate some breath and some airy sounds into your vocal percussion. So here we go, just a short demonstration. Anyway, just a short little demonstration there of how you can incorporate some breathy, airy sounds into what you're doing to give it some life. Alright, so the first pattern I want to go over you guys is going to start with just a basic breathing pattern like this. Now, as you guys can see, I'm just breathing in and out. I don't have my teeth clenched really, but I do have them kind of tight together. I am pushing the air out a little bit on each in and out breath that I'm taking. All right, so all we're going to do is take some of the vocal percussion sounds we've already learned, a B kick drum, P F snare, and put those on top of that breathing pattern. So I'm going to do the pattern slowly at first so you guys get the idea of what it is. Then I'll speed it up a little bit so you can keep moving along as you're practicing. So here it is, the first vocal percussion beat incorporating some breathy, airy sounds. Here we go. Alright, so you can see I'm really just putting in kicks and snares. That's all I'm doing. And I'm just continuing the breathing pattern underneath those sounds. So here it is again, slow one more time, then I'll speed it up a little bit. Here we go. Alright, same pattern. A little bit faster. Here we go. Alright, so that pattern, as you can tell, has the inward and outward breath, and it kind of gives it a moving, consistent, steady feel that keeps the pattern moving along and keeps the pattern flowing. The second one I want to look at with you guys is going to incorporate a couple different breathy sounds. The first one's going to be kind of an sound, and the second one's going to be kind of an sound. Now, these are both outward breathy sounds. The first pattern we did had in and out, but this was just going to use those two outward, the and the kind of sounds. All right. So in addition to those two sounds, we're also going to use our B kick drum again, and our inward K snare sound. All right. So the pattern, I'll do it slowly first, is going to sound like this. right, now as you can see, I'm kind of leaving some gaps in that pattern. As you get more advanced, you can certainly insert some things in there to make it sound cooler and to fill it out a little bit. But again, for now, we're just going to do this relatively easy beat, incorporating the ah and the oh breathy sound. So here it is again, slow, and then I'll do it a little bit faster. All right, a little bit faster this time. You heard that time I filled in a little bit with a couple little sounds in between here and there. But again, that was just kind of fill it out. And if you were listening, you could tell that this beat is actually very similar to the first beat. We're just kind of changing some of the sounds that we're using and some of the sounds we're making to give it a little different feel. It doesn't quite move along in quite the same consistent way that that first pattern did. But again, I want you guys to look at those two patterns this week for how you can use cool, breathy, airy sounds to give your percussion some life, to give it some color, and also to serve that basic function of breathing that, again, we've said is so central to what we do. So work on those two for that week. As you keep going along, as you get more advanced, add some stuff on your own, and we'll be back at you guys next week with our next installment of Rhythm and Motion, our video vocal percussion series.